a dancer for a bar. Obviously, she used to dance in a in a restaurant where they used to sell all alcohol, and she was the dancer and the singer. It was terrible, but let me just skip to all that, remembering the pain of that background. It came to an age I was about 7 years, or it's about 7 or 8 years, and my mom got sick, very very sick. And at that juncture, when she got sick, there's something that got beyond expectation, because none of our family members came for the rescue. And I was there as a child. My mom was a single mother, and none of the family members came there for a rescue. And now here comes a mother who is sick, very very sick, on a sick bed. Nobody to save her, nobody to help her. It was at that time that my mom got to a point that she was terribly sick, not even to come out of the bed. And at that age, I was forced to come out of school for living in a city. And now living in a city and your mother is sick is a terrible situation, because you don't have a farm to cultivate. You have to work to earn money. No, I'm a 7 years old child. Let me just show you as I walk where I'm going. I'm a 7 years old child, and my mom is terribly sick, cannot come out of the bed, and now I had to go out, start working. I used to go out and jobs and tell them, hello, mister, all I need is some cash, but I don't need you to give me just cash without doing anything. In the shop, do you need anything that I can go buy for you? Send me anywhere you want to send me, and after you send me, pay me. Pay me 5 shillings. And the people will say, okay, we send you. Okay, most of them used to send me and instead give me a shilling. And it was such a fun, because at least by the end of the day, I had quite some money. Now, they send me quite many people. It was not enough for the needs. So at a time, I had to go to a certain video show and tell them, this is what I want, because this is the only option I had to. Then I could go to a video show and tell them, this is what I want. Please let me sweep all the video show and wash it out. And please pay me for the service. Pay me 10 shillings for the service, or 5 shillings. Yeah, they could do so, and they tell me, we give you 5 shillings and you watch one free video or one free movie. And it was quite nice, because I had free movies to watch just for a single service. That was the life at then, because my mom was sick, and in the evening maybe I had 20 shillings or 25 shillings, and I could come with the money at home. And when I come home, my mother will take the money and now start arranging and tell me, go buy unga, which we used to call unga at 7 shillings, some vegetables at 5 shillings, so and so, like that. And the 25 shillings or the 20 shillings is done, and the day was gone. That's the beginning of my life. I was a child who loved so much of martial art, and so I was training, and a certain group of children, or say they were more mature than me, came to me and said, hello, you are smart, we can continue and start a nice group. And all they wanted, I never knew, they wanted to start a gang group with me. And as we were walking all around, they started teaching me how to steal, how to do something. So I didn't know work, go to sweep to get money. Now I could go to the market, steal some of vegetables, go to a shop, steal a bucket of flour and then come with it at home and tell my mom someone bought it for me. And since my mom is sick, she got no option even to, and doesn't even care to know because she's terribly sick, no one to help her. This went on for a time. The group got strong. I was among the best because they said you are quick and you know some martial art which can help you escape so many troubles. I remember at a time, this testimony I'm just giving in summary. I remember at a time I went to steal in a marketplace and a certain woman caught me and she thoroughly hit me. She beat me mercilessly. I was a child, but she beat me mercilessly and called some people, and they also slapped me through. And by the grace of God, I remember the woman said, "You are lucky you're a child. We could have burned you alive." Now imagine they could have burnt me alive. What saved me is because I was a child, and I was told, "You have no option than to stop stealing. And one day you'll be a bit bigger. People will now burn you alive. They will stone you to death." And so that was my end of stealing. And up to date, I fear that thing. But I continued in another lifestyle, a lifestyle that I had learned from them. I won't share on that now, but that was my life. Now, when I became an adult, I escaped all through that to encourage even those ambao wamemaliza shule, those who have completed their school and without jobs. I completed school and with so much faith and so much hope that I will never lack a job. But by the grace of God, I wouldn't say because the devil was bad, but by the grace of God, I didn't have a job. I count it a grace of God because it taught me a lot. And then I used to say it was the devil, but now I count it the grace of God and a gift of God because it taught me a lot. I never had a job, and now my mother told me, "You are an adult now, go start living alone." I went and found a certain house in a place called Kona. At that time, the house was 300 shillings. We paid 300 shillings for the rent for a month, and I paid 300 shillings for the first month. And after the end of that month, I used to work in a certain hardware. They didn't pay me, and now I had to suffer to convince the landlord that I will pay you the other month. So I stayed for 2 more weeks, and the landlord said, "I won't persevere you." And so the landlord said, "I will shut you out of the house until you pay your money." So shut out of my house because I didn't have 300 shillings. Funny enough is that it was my mother who had employed me and she refused to totally pay me. So I want to encourage you with my testimony today so that you never give up. My mother hadn't paid me for 3 months and she owed me 18,000. And now here comes, I'm shut out of a house where I'm supposed to pay 300 shillings because my boss hadn't paid me. Now, when the landlord did shut the house, I had no other option but to sleep outside. I slept outside under a certain kiosk for 2 weeks. Each morning, I woke up in the kiosk, and this should encourage you never to lose focus. I remember it was a rainy season, and I used to wake up early in the morning before 5 and start walking so that the owner of the kiosk couldn't find me sleeping me and telling her that I have been sleeping under the kiosk will be so shameful since she knew me, she knew my mother, she knew everything about my mother, she knew my mother had a certain available house she could have given to me, but instead she chose to give somebody else. So by then I had to avoid the shame. For 2 weeks I slept there, the rain rained on me. It was a terrible situation, but I had no other option. After the 2 weeks, I remember now I got a job and now I found another house. But the house I got was like I was living outside. It was only the roof on upward and some sheet from the side, but not complete. So anybody could have visited me without. So that's the life from the start. I escaped from there because I'm summarizing. If you want to know more, you can ask me. I went on and found a certain job in a certain place. They call it Kamulu. Yeah, that was a good job because I used to work shop to distribute. Now, the owner of that place, kind maybe anything he wanted, all the useless things, he kept them there. And now he gave me that room to live. There was a certain piece of wood that he was laid, and it looked like a bed, and so he gave me a mattress and told me sleep there. Oh, that was a nice place to be because at night I had so many strangers. Big rats. If you have never seen rats, oh my god. Thousands of rats. I never knew. I remembered, oh, this place, they store food. So rats always came there at night to eat. So at night, so many big rats used to visit. They stepped on me. They walked all over me. It was so terrible. That place stinked. And you could not have moved those things outside to wash that place because the owner wouldn't have allowed that. That place stinked and I had no option. That's the only place I could have lived. I lived there, it was so terrible. The dog came always each day and peed at the door. Life is unbearable, but I thank God because of that person, because at least he saved me from sleeping outside, but where I went was unbearable. At night I couldn't have slept. The rats always disturbed me the whole night. And this was real. I'm speaking about real. Big rats always disturbed me the whole night. And so I had to leave that job, to quit that job and go to another place. That's when I visited a certain place called Kawangware. And there I found a job and I worked for quite a time because someone had chosen me as his own caretaker for a plot. And he told me, I will take good care of you, give you a good house, everything and everything. So when I went there, he had two-bedroom houses, and instead of giving me one of the best houses, he looked a certain store under the staircase. Even a bed couldn't have fit. He told me, don't put a bed inside because it's too small. Just put a mattress inside and live there and take care of the plot. Each morning at 5, he will call me and tell me, go outside and wash the whole plot. I will go outside, wash the whole plot. I remembered one day, he told me, since you are a pastor and you can preach, I can give you an offer. I have a church. He had built a church, and I have the instruments. Now I give you the church. I give you the instruments. You go preach. Wow, glory to God! I saw this a miracle. So I went out and started preaching in that church. A month later, the man came and told me, "Where are the offerings?" I told them, "Here are the offering." He told me, "Bring the offering," and he started now complaining. "You are not the kind of pastor I want. His offering is too little. Tell people to give out money." And then I told him, "Mister, I'm not called to preach about money. Though money is for Christian, though money is for everyone, I'm not called for that. I'm called for the sake of the lives of people." And the man told me, if you're not preaching about telling people to give money, then you are not ready to serve with me. I told him, let it be. If I will preach about money to make you happy, let it be. I don't want to preach. Take your church, take your instruments. I'll go outside and start outside. The man out said, I'm going out to the police station and report you because you're a criminal. He went outside and and threatened to report me for being a criminal. Life is challenging, but before the police could have come and find me, I had gone. Let me tell you and let me encourage you first. Today you might be lacking, but that doesn't mean God doesn't love you. Today you might not have what you need, but that doesn't mean that God still never cares. I know what lacking food is. I have slept without food for 2 weeks. I was still alive and never died. I know what lacking rent is. My house had been shut not once, not twice. I told you I was just giving you a summary of my testimony. So I just mentioned a single. I have not mentioned all. Like one day, let me tell you, mention this so that you may be encouraged out there. You are married, you are single. Let me encourage you. I remember in the year 2015, my wife was pregnant, and on the month of 10th October on 2015, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. And when she gave birth, she had some complications. So she had been in hospital for quite a long time. And now when she gave birth and we went to the house, immediately we entered the house. The caretaker was given to look after the houses, called me and said, "Sir, the month is over, you need to pay for the house rent." I told him, "I understand, madam, but I was so far I spoke so innocently and so happily. I said, I understand, madam, but please give me just some few weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I'll pay you the house. My wife had been in hospital, you know that, and to give birth, and now she's here. She just came in now. Give me 2 weeks, I'll pay you." She said, "Sir, if your wife was still pregnant, I could have understood you. And all the time your wife was pregnant, I never pressured you. But now you have a child, you can walk." And just imagine, my wife comes out of hospital today, and tomorrow we are sent out of the house. So disappointing. Where are we going? I started telling my wife, where should we go? I don't know where to go. So I told her, I remember there's a sister of yours living somewhere. Go to your sister, live there. I will also look for a place to live. And she's still alive. We are still together. Just be encouraged. Let me tell you, at a time, life may sound unfair. Life may give you every reason to complain. Life may give you all the reasons to doubt that God still exists. Life may give you all the reasons to say that God never doesn't love you anymore. But let me give you a reason to know that God still loves you. It's because you're still alive. If you never woke up, I don't know what you could have said, but still you are alive. You have all the reasons to say, God, I might not have all that I need, but I thank you that I'm alive. Having life is a gift. Have you ever visited the hospital and saw people who pay for life? Have you seen that? You visited the hospital and see someone paying just to be put under oxygen so that this person may not die. Yet you have free oxygen. You breathe anytime you want. Trust in God. Stop complaining about life. Always in all things, by prayer, make your request known to God. Stop complaining about life. Thank God for everything. Yes, it is not working the way you wanted it to work. But at least there is a grip of hope. At least you have something else someone doesn't have. Every good thing go through a hard process. Only cheap thing go through the cheapest process. The process of making just white rice is not as the same process as making smashed beef. They go through different processes. The process of making a chair is not the same process. A wooden chair is not the same process as making a wooden metallic chair. One is going through pain than the other. Oh God. The process or the training that a soldier goes through so that he may be a qualified soldier is not the same training I say this respectfully, is not the same training a normal security officer will go through. They'll go through different training. A soldier or an army who is to be sent anywhere, maybe for a military battle, will go through a tough training. A doctor studies serious lessons. A pilot go through very long process and lessons to become a qualified pilot. But to become a air hostess, just a few lessons and you're qualified. That tell you that if you are to become a big thing, you go through the biggest temptations and the biggest trials. That's just a glimpse of my testimony. I got a big testimony. God bless you. If you need a question, ask me. I'm Apostle Benson Njoroge. I love you so much. Of Light Manifestation Church. You're welcome to fellowship with us at Light Manifestation Church anytime. You're welcome to fellowship with us. If you need to support our ministry, please contact Benson Njoroge. On my channel, you find my contacts either from Facebook or the email or my number. You can contact so that we may direct you. God bless you so much.